Racism and discrimination were common experiences for many who called Africville home. The community, which was settled on the northern edge of the Halifax Peninsula in the mid-18th century, was denied municipal services and surrounded by undesirable industrial uses, including the city dump, an infectious disease hospital, and prison. The community has suffered multiple land expropriations, often to build large transportation projects, such as the railway constructed directly through Africville in 1855. The entire community was relocated in the 1960s as their homes were being torn down due to urban renewal. In 2010, the municipality made a formal apology to the community of Africville, part of which included a settlement to build a replica of the Seaview Baptist Church, which now houses the Africville Museum, a small but important step towards addressing past injustices. There's just one problem. It's hard for anyone who doesn't have a car to get there. The Africville community is surrounded by major transportation thoroughfares, an ocean of industrial uses, and a literal ocean, with the nearest transit stops and sidewalks over a kilometer away from Africville. Safe access for active transportation isn't exactly nearby. Active transportation is an important component to making all areas of a city safe and equitable. The inaccessibility around Africville creates a barrier and furthers inequity by denying those wishing to learn about it a safe way to visit. The Africville Museum is also the only one within the urban center that is inaccessible by either public or active transportation. The Africville Museum is an important piece of the community's cultural heritage and the history of the municipality. It serves as a reminder to the legacy of Africville and celebrates the strong community spirit. Since the founding of Africville, residents have experienced discrimination, and today, the fact that there is still no active transportation network in the area exacerbates this discrimination.
Hi, my name's Irvin Carvery. I was born and raised in Africville, and I was removed when I was 13 years old. I currently serve as president of the Africville Genealogy Society. And behind me is a replica of the Seaview United African Baptist Church, home to the people of Africville. It now serves as a museum to tell the history of the community of Africville and what happened to the community in the 1960s. It's very difficult to access the site of Africville. And this has been the case historically in Africville. Even though we lived in the city of Halifax, we were very isolated from the rest of the city because of lack of public transportation and roadways to and from Africville, because of lack of sidewalks, lack of bike lanes, lack of active transportation to and from the site.
Members of the community are rightfully fed up. In 2016, one of the museum's interpreters started a petition to make Africville accessible to everyone by adding public transit and sidewalks. In 24 hours, the petition had received over 200 signatures, and when it was brought to council, it had over 600. Today, the petition is still active and gaining signatures. While progress on connectivity is being made, the more support, the better. Council recognized the importance of the community's request and directed staff to explore the best ways to connect Africville to the rest of the peninsula using sidewalks or multi-use paths. The Active Transportation Department is conducting a functional planning study to implement new routes to improve connectivity to the rest of the peninsula. It's called the Africville Active Transportation Connections Project. After initial discussions with various stakeholders, it became clear that there needed to be a broader discussion about access to the site, including with other municipal departments. And that brings us to the Windsor Street Exchange redevelopment project. While it is a separate project, the two are affiliated because of the close geographic proximity and the opportunity to allow for additional active transportation connections in the area. Consultation with the Africville community on this project began in fall 2020 and will continue throughout the design process. This feedback will help inform the more specific engagement that will be conducted for the Africville Active Transportation Connections project, including the upcoming engagement around what these connections will look like and the details of the route locations.
We want people to be able to come here and enjoy the natural beauty of the Africville site, and so that future generations can learn the history of Africville. But now are different times. The people back then weren't really hearing the concerns of the people of Africville. But we honestly feel that there are people who are listening today who understand the mistakes of the past cannot be the mistakes of now and in the future. So we feel that people are honestly listening to the people of Africville.
Transportation projects are being developed all the time, but it is imperative that the effects of these projects stop discriminating against and harming minority and underserved communities. Instead, they need to work to benefit these communities. These projects need to ensure they have a positive impact and are as reflective of the Africville community's desires as possible. Show up, virtually or if possible in person, to provide feedback and encourage others in the area to do so as well. For more information on the project and how you can get involved, visit the project website.